hurt you in some way.
Okay. And let's see, someone's asking, when you go through a wormhole, what happens to your soul energy and auric and information fields?
Well, it goes with you. Your auric field, your energy goes with the soul personality. But that's a very good question, because I will emphasize that there's two different ways to go through time travel or interdimensional travel. There is the physical method, which is extremely difficult to the body, and then there's the energetic method, which means only the soul personality actually goes through and the body remains in the home location. But in Montauk, they physically sent people, and when they would return, it would be very difficult on the body, and most of those who survive do have physical conditions of one type or another, because human beings are not designed to go through hyperspace and vortices like that. We're designed to be in physical reality where we are born and stay there. So
okay, go ahead.
No, so it creates physical difficulties in the body, blood conditions, nervous conditions. The organs can deteriorate. There could be rapid aging. A lot of things happen.
Okay, and that's the two questions we've got so far. I wanted to ask you, now we have a choice of going to a break at the top and bottom of every hour. That would be 3-4 minutes, and I want to open that up to you if you would like to do that.
Well, it's your show. I'll accommodate whatever you feel is best.
Okay. If you feel that you need a break, we can actually going into go to a short break here. I think a break it'd probably be good.
Okay.
But so that'd be in about 1 minute. I'm supposed to announce the music is going to be Josh Winward, Dizzy Spells.
Okay.
I think they're choosing it to suit the mood. No. But at any rate, okay. So why don't we just come back in 3-4 minutes here and have a short break?
Okay.
This is Carrie Cassidy from Project Camelot, Whistleblower Radio, and I'm on the air with Stuart Swerdlow. And we are talking about Montauk and things of that nature. Stuart, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So what I would like to do is find out whether you knew Duncan Cameron and whether you remember some of the things that he talks about. And I wanted to detail what some of those things are. I'm curious.
Well, yes, I do remember Duncan. He's still a friend of mine. And he was, of course, as everyone knows, one of the lead psychics in what was called the Montauk Chair. And it was the rest of us whose energies would be used to boost him in that chair so that he could facilitate whatever project or experiment they were working on at the moment. And that chair, of course, was from alien technology from Sirius A star system, which has very good technology. And of course, it was modified here on the Earth. And yes, he was in charge of creating mentally the wormholes or vortices that the computer would then generate. And of course, it ended up badly at the end when he fell asleep on a chair, was not being monitored, and had a nightmare creating this energetic creature, which the computer then generated. And that was why they had to shut down the project at that moment.
Okay, so the monster that was created that actually seemed to manifest out of his mind. My understanding, and maybe I have this wrong, was that he actually created it on purpose, that it wasn't an accidental nightmare.
Well, he told me it was an accident,
okay.
that he had a nightmare, but maybe I got that wrong. You'd have to ask him.
Okay, the reason, and maybe I have this confused, but I thought the idea was that he had decided, or small group, including him, had decided that they wanted to stop the project, and therefore they created this monster to basically wreak havoc. But perhaps that was a later rendition that was more, a fantasy instead of reality.
That, again, you'd probably have to ask him, since it was his mind that generated it.
Okay. But you yourself, were you there when this happened?
No, I was not there when that happened.
Okay.
In fact, I was at home when that happened. I'll never forget, because when they shut down that project so abruptly, to me, it felt like someone unplugged me from an outlet. I felt like I was some kind of electrical device that was suddenly unplugged. I had no energy. I kind of became disoriented, did not know where I was, what I was doing, who I was. It was a very strange feeling. Imagine for 13 years being connected to this energy, and then suddenly it just stops in a moment, and you don't know what to do.
Incredible. So how did that affect your life at that point? Did you really, at the time, were you having total recall when you were, I assume you were having something of a so-called normal existence, regardless of the times when you were being utilized in Montauk. Am I wrong?
Well, I have to smile a bit at that, because never would I ever consider any part of my life normal, ever. Since I was a fetus. But I guess I had the semblance, to the outsider, of having a normal life. But the thing is, I was so removed from popular culture. I didn't even know how to pump my own gasoline. I didn't know what songs were on the radio. I didn't know what teams were playing in sports. It was like I was an alien. It's like I didn't know what the heck was going on. And I had to suddenly learn everything, which was very difficult. But beyond all that, the emotional stress and trauma of suddenly being unhooked from this monstrosity of a project after so many years, it was absolutely amazing. It was kind of like, being a drug addict, and suddenly you can't have any more drugs, and you got to go through detox, and it's very bad. Many people became alcoholics. Many people became drug addicts. People turned to life of crime. People did not know who or what they were. Those who were left at the end and survived. Quite honestly, I did become an alcoholic after that. I had to drink away the memories. I never lost any memories. That was what was so anomalous about me, was that I always knew what happened. I always knew when I was there, what was being done to me. The masked memories wouldn't hold on me. And that's why I became an enigma to them, and why they studied me so intensely. And that was probably worse for me, because I had more put on me than most of the others.
And when the project kind of combusted, I believe, if I remember correctly, it was actually on a specific day that was very crucial in some kind of a time loop.
August 12th.
Like 23rd of August? Is that
August 12th. August 12th.
August 12th. Okay. Yeah. And because for some reason I was also very aware of that. And I don't know whether or not, I was being utilized in that program, but there was some issue that I had also regarding a horse. Do you know about the horse and the symbol of the horse as a trigger?
Well, yeah. Well, I personally didn't see the horse. It was something that Duncan and I believe Al Bielek witnessed when they were sent way into the future at a time when human beings were no longer around. And all they saw in this particular journey was this statue of a horse, which you see, I believe it's on the cover of one of the Montauk books, at least a rendition of it. In the hyperspace symbolism, or I should say in a pictogram symbolism, the horse represents a message or messenger. So there was some message there, and this, at that time, be considered an alternate reality, perhaps as a warning of what will happen to mankind if their ways were not changed. At least that's how I interpret that incident.
Okay. But in 1983, were you being utilized up to that point, or were you let go before that?
No, up to that very moment when the plane had crashed. Yeah.
Okay. And at that point, how old were you?
At that point, let me think now. I must have been 27 at that time.
Okay. All right. And through the years, have you met people that perhaps you remember, or that were kids at that time that knew, maybe say? I'm sure you get people that coming up to you that say they knew you. Do you recognize them?
Well, quite honestly, Carrie, over the years, I've met a lot of people